All right, so last time in our little Curse of Strahd adventure here, the party continued their journey through the Amber Temple, fighting off some wall-walking ghouls and nearly losing an ally in the process as Esmeralda charged in to back up a pair of noble adventurers who had decided to take the lead and then Dimension Door way the fuck back out of the way. Um, but after being transformed into an elephant and not ending up getting eaten by the creatures, um, she survived and ended up forcing the vast majority of the things back into the tiny chamber that they had crawled out from, as Dane and Greg ran in to sort of finish the job. After cutting down the last of the ghouls, the group decided to investigate the large amber blocks that were resting inside this tiny chamber, making some new friends, allies, acquaintances, something, and picking up some new powers from whatever these beings are that reside within the amber blocks. The majority of the party, everyone but Dane, decided that the idea of having a royal force of personality sounded pretty appealing. And so they all accepted the gift of something known as the Kingmaker. At which point their natural charisma just increased, seemingly with no strings attached, though each one of them is now quite sure that their way is the right way. Dane, on the other hand, decided that he wanted to receive the gifts of the nine-eyed spider. As he accepted it, he felt a sharp pain in his forehead, and as he reached up, he felt a bump that turned out to be a blind, lidless eye now protruding from his forehead just over his nose. But he is now able to walk on walls and ceilings as though they're flat ground. I suppose we'll see where all of that stuff takes us, but for the time being... there was one other thing. After leaving that chamber, you decided to head downstairs, where after summoning a few animals, you ran into what you gather were probably a small band of witches. And as they were not seduced by certain attempts at, just raw charismatic power, you know. The group made short work of them, eventually freezing all of them with Yoan's fancy new toy, his staff. And it is after that, with a collection of now inanimate brooms, that we pick up with the party. You are in a hallway, at the end of which stands a series of ice sculptures shaped like witches. And there are a total of 4 closed amber doors leading away or out from this hallway. One at the end that the witches seem to have been trying to make their way into as you rounded the corner. And 3 along the left wall. more or less evenly spaced.
We should try the one they went in, or they were trying to go in.
I agree.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, what's the plan? Somebody gonna walk up, try the door, or
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it.
okay.
Knock, knock, motherfucker.
All right. So let's see here. Well, go ahead and make an attack with your Eldritch Blast.
Alright.
Okay. There is a thudding sound, but you don't see any visible flaws or damage appearing on the surface of the door.
I get a second one.
Okay. That second one does seem to take the slightest little chip off the face of this thick, heavy amber door.
Is there like a handle or anything?
There are kind of carved indentations that you gather could be used for something along the lines of a handle.
I want to tell Ron to stop and try the handle just to see what happens.
You try the handle.
No, I'm gonna try the handle. I'm just telling you to stop.
Okay.
And I want to try the handle.
Okay. Yeah, so you grab onto these little indentations and like try and open the door. Pull, doesn't budge. You push, still doesn't budge. Seems to be pretty well stuck in place.
Okay.
I want to go take the sun sword and try and stick it through the door.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack with the sun sword.
It breaks.
Somehow you managed to break sunlight. Yeah. No, it like you see the slightest little hint of smoke kind of rising from the face of the door, but your first attack, your first attempt at breaking through it with the sun sword doesn't seem to yield any notable results.
Okay.
Should I try breaking it down?
So we're just all ganging up on this door, beating the crap out of it.
Is there like any levers or anything? Switches?
I'm just gonna back up and let people continue with their.
Okay.
If Ron wants to continue with his assault, he can.
Okay. So like when you say you back up, like I mean, how far are you backing up?
I mean, where I was just standing before.
Okay. So like just past rounding the corner kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be in between Ron and the door, so.
Okay. Where's Ron situating himself?
I'm just kind of leaning back against the wall across from the door. And just I was throwing Eldritch Blasts.
So like at the far end of the hallway where there's a collapsed pile of stone.
It's on the end.
Yeah, this is the door at the very end of the hallway.
I'm probably 30 feet back then.
Okay.
So, I guess I'll walk up and touch the door and say, "You should move." Like actually saying it to the door.
Just trying to convince it to open for you.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't seem to respond to your honeyed words.
Hmm. I'll turn back. Well, I got nothing.
Should we try some of the other doors then?
Hey, can you stab your way through? Can you give me an eyesight through this door?
I can try again.
All right. I mean, just stab it. Just put a hole in it.
Okay. Yeah. So Dane readies the sun sword again, and this time maybe a little more precisely, with a little more care, is able to slowly kind of finesse the blade of the sword into the door and carve out a pretty sizable portion of it. Not enough to really climb through, but enough to see at least a little bit of what's going on inside.
All right. I'm gonna grab Dane. Wait, what the fuck's your name? Dane.
I mean, who are you talking to?
I'm gonna grab Dane by the face, and I'm gonna dimension door through the hole.
Is Dane willing?
I guess so.
Whoa.
I
We're
don't see this ending well.
we're in the room.
Okay. In the room you go. All right. So, as you poof your way into the room, you would have seen from outside that it's pretty similar to a room that you've been in already. Smallish chamber with a few large blocks of amber resting inside. So, would you like to be somewhere near like the center?
No, I'm going to put us both against the wall, the back wall.
Like the one that you kind of came through? Or, sorry,
No,
what?
the one that I can see.
Opposite side of the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna put us like
Okay.
in a corner if I can, so that we got our back to a wall.
All right, so yeah, basically each one of you is kind of you're both kind of squeezed behind one of these large blocks of amber.
Yes, that'll work perfect.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to. Can I message him something, too?
Yeah. So I'll say this: you dimension door your way in, and now that you've appeared and kind of had a chance to see a little bit of what's going on in the room, you see the dancing light of a few flames seemingly perched atop the blocks of amber. The dancing green lights
Thanks
of
a lot.
3 flames that seem to be encircling a trio of red-eyed floating skulls.
We'll be fine.
So, let me see if they noticed that you're no longer at the hole in the door, but you're actually behind them. Kind of an important check here.
I am fairly certain that we will be able to get out of here.
Fairly certain. That's very reassuring.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so as you poof your way into the room, you watch as the flame skull perched atop this stone or this amber block that you're now kind of squeezed behind turns around and just gazes right down behind the block toward the two of you. And I think it is time to roll some initiative. So, let's see here. Let me get everybody situated just so. NPCs are probably just hanging back with the furthest back person, which would have been Yellen. Cool. And I spent some time getting my fancy group initiative thing to work, so hopefully it hasn't broken in the last hour or so.
Does it roll advantage?
It does.
Woo!
So let's see here. Initiative. Except it doesn't seem to have rolled advantage because Greg got a 1.
Maybe he rolled double ones.
I don't know. I mean, we'll let this roll for now, but if it happens again, like realistically, that's what 1 in how many?
A lot. 400?
One
Like
in 400.
Yeah.
What?
So if it happens again, we'll definitely take note of that. Okay. So I'm gonna move you guys back over to the map, which I haven't had you on thus far, just to keep things a little less resource heavy. I think this should be everybody. So we'll do this. And
You're all doomed.
let me move the door barrier thing so people can see into the room like they should be able to do. Okay. So, the giant rat that Greg had summoned before gets to go first, but there's really not much it can do. So it kind of stands, like sits back on its back legs and peeks through the hole in the amber door, kind of just loudly squeaking. Dane, what are you doing?
I'm gonna
Oh. You rolled my initiative for me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
I'm gonna walk forward and take a swing at the Gleam Skull on my right or left. Sorry.
Okay.
Christ on a bike.
Be done with that thing.
Okay.
He is done with its shit.
Alright, so let's see here. That is a hell of a lot. And these are undead. So. Okay, yeah. Dane just walks up and cleaves this first one in two, no problem. And it just kind of, you see the light in its eyes just sputter out. And yeah, it collapses to the floor and the fire goes out.
Cool. Then using my action surge, I'm gonna go for the next one.
All right.
Not quite kill that one.
All right, so yeah, you whiff and kind of stumble on the first attack, but you recover, and you cut into it, dealing a fair bit of damage. Not enough to end this one, though, so it is still hovering and chattering at you.
Then how high is this room?
Let's see. I think there is actually a specific number here. So most of the ceiling is 10 feet high, but you do see a circular shaft kind of thing leading up through the ceiling to a room directly above.
I want to start climbing up that way.
Okay. So let's see. Walking up, it's 10 feet up, another 5 feet in toward the thing, and then you can use the rest to go up. So you are you're halfway up the shaft in the ceiling. It is a 20-foot long or 20-foot deep shaft.
Okay. I can only move 25 though.
Yeah, so you would have used
Okay.
10 to go up, 5 to go along the ceiling, and then 10
Okay.
to go
10 more
partway
up.
up
Okay.
the. Yeah,
Okay, that works.
cool. All right, so then we get to flame skulls. So the one that hasn't been attacked yet is going to turn up, look at Dane, and you see the red eyes begin to flare up as a little crackling red beam shoots up the shaft past you, Dane, and detonates on the ceiling of the room above. This is a fireball, and so it
I don't get a
erupts.
reaction, right?
No, you do.
Well, I'm gonna look over and say, "No, don't kill him. I love him," and I'm gonna counter spell that fucker.
Okay. All right. Let me just verify that he's not casting at some super level, but he shouldn't be.
Casting at 20th level.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, no, that's a 3rd level spell.
So just fizzles.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
Think I.
Yeah, I think you see the eyes flare up, and as it seems to be like opening its mouth to send something shooting toward Dane, it seems to get distracted at the last minute and kind of just looks over at Ron. It doesn't have eyebrows to raise, but you imagine if it did, it'd probably be raising one right about now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then the one closer to Ron gets to go. And I think this one is going to... It's going to do a thing. And I believe the thing it's going to do is...
A fireball.
No, it's going to turn toward you, Ron, and make a fire ray attack. You see the eyes flare up, maybe not as bright as the last attack you saw coming from one of these things. But it does roll an 18 to hit,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe that's going to hit you, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so this kind of beam of fire just... so like you see the eyes light up, and the two beams shoot out from them, combine into one, and launch towards you, dealing you 9 points of fire damage.
Okay.
All right, and then the other one's dead. So then Esmeralda gets to do stuff. Who am I hearing myself through? Is that Becca?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, she put her mic up by her headphones because she walked away to talk to Laura. I'm gonna fix that real quick.
Booted from the game, Kappa.
I will add, when Ron gets hit, you just hear him start chuckling, and then it grows into like a maniacal laughter.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so Esmeralda is going to... She's going to run up and try and make a ranged attack, producing her hand axe from her belt. Lesser used weapon of hers, but still one that she has. And she's going to try and chuck it through the hole in the door. So That's a 24 to hit. So she chucks the hand axe straight through the door at the flame skull that just attacked Ron. And yeah, you see a sizable chunk kind of chip off of the thing, but it is still very much intact. And that's kind of all Esmeralda can do this turn. So moving on, that brings us to Ron.
Okay, where... So these two are still living. The one there, is that the one following Dane?
All right. So I'll ping. So that one I just pinged. That is the one that just attacked you.
Okay.
And then this one here it's now looking at you, but it's the one that tried to cast something on Dane as he was going up the shaft.
Okay, well, in my maniacal laughter, I'm gonna say you have no idea what you're up against. I'll end you, and then I'm gonna just cast Shatter on him.
Okay. And where are you centering that?
I want to hit both of them. So it'd probably be like, oops, oh, we got the measuring tool out. It'd probably be like there, but I can't go between tiles.
Gotcha. All right. So
If I can, I would like to avoid hitting the amber. If I
okay,
can't,
10-foot radius sphere. So yeah, I mean, if you, well, we'll say you can just barely avoid it, or maybe you just kind of graze parts of the amber blocks, but you can largely avoid some impact with them. So, con save on behalf of both of those guys. Okay, top one rolls a 20.
Yes.
Bottom one rolls a 21.
Yep, they save, but it's half damage, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's right. So, let's see. All right. They seem to take minimal damage, as though they weathered the thing pretty well, and maybe they're somehow. Oh, actually, that's thunder damage, not lightning damage.
Yes.
Never
it was
mind.
Thunder.
Tearing down for what?
If anything, I think they would almost take more.
Oh.
I mean, you can think that.
I'm just saying because they're I guess they're organic. But...
Yeah, I mean, like, I get it. It's kind of like, you typically think of bludgeoning damage doing more against bones, but anyway.
This is
yeah,
like magical
so
bludgeoning.
right. So yes, they are both hit. The one closest to you is looking pretty rough, but still hovering and wreathed in green flame.
All right. I'm just gonna slide over here using all my movement, and I'm gonna say, "Oh, please be something good," and I'm gonna touch the stone.
Okay. So let's take a look
Just
here.
try to activate it. Just say, "Oh, my headset died." Sorry.
Yep.
I'll
Can
just-
you
Yes.
can you hear me now, or are you still turning stuff on?
Nope, it's good.
Okay. Cool. So you reach out and kind of hurriedly press your hand against the amber block, and let's see.
I'll just say, "Please tell me you can turn me to water or something."
It seems to take a while before you get a response, but eventually you do hear this kind of gravelly voice that says, Turn you to water? No. But I am the howling storm. Do you think you can withstand the true power of storms? Because that is what I can offer you.
Do I still have a bonus action?
Yeah?
Alright. I'm gonna peek around and I think oh yeah, I can make it. I'm gonna Misty Step through the, look through the hole in the wall and just Misty Step to whatever I see on the other side.
Okay. Distance on that is what, 30 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, so you like poof out of the room, and let me get Dane accurately placed here too. He's probably right there, but up. Ron, you poof your way out of the room and basically onto the back of the giant rat that's sort of leaning up, peeking through the hole in the amber door.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Leave me in here.
You took off running.
You dragged me into the room.
Okay. I'll just look back and say, Dane's trapped in there. And then
All right.
that'll end my turn.
Okay. And you hear Rictavio's voice from behind you saying, "Well, then what are we waiting for? We need to break in, don't we?" And I mean, there's not a lot he can do right now because he's kind of far back, but I guess he's going to come running up. I guess he'll dash to get as close as he can. But there is still kind of a group here. Does he have anything he can do here? Yeah, not a whole lot. Okay, so yeah, that's Rictavio's turn. Which brings us to Yoan, who is not here at the moment. Please hold while I go try and retrieve our druid.
What's going on?
No such luck. So I guess I'm going to be Yoan for a bit.
Why isn't she
Um,
going?
just some stuff that needs to be discussed in a timely manner that she's kind of busy with. So, if I were a half-orc druid, I wonder what I would do. I think I would probably Oh, here we go. So Yoan's going to close on the door a little bit. Let's see, how close? Actually, Yoan can just like scoot over and inch up a little bit and do this shit. Something like that. And threading the needle through the door, you hear this projectile come whizzing by. And Yoan's going to cast Ice Knife. Try and finish off this not so great looking flame skull in here. So let's see. Level 1. 14 to hit. That is enough to hit. And then I need a dex save from the flame skull. Don't mind me just playing with myself here.
Leedle, leedle, leedle.
If you know what I mean. Alright, so then the flame skull takes a bit of damage, but is able to kind of evaporate the shrapnel that breaks off of the projectile after it first hits it. So, still there. Looking like absolute trash, but still there. I think that's going to be it for Yoan. Brings us to Muriel, who, let's see, she can fly, so I think she's going to make use of that. Head over and basically cruise in like right over Greg's head and start attacking the amber door, trying to get you guys some better access. So something like that. Hooray for stacking tokens.
It's a naked woman on top of me.
Whoa. Actually, it's a naked bird woman. Even better. Let's see how this goes. So she flies forward with her short sword drawn. Let's see, is that even a useful thing? I mean, I guess it's try the best she's got. So yeah, she's gonna swing at this big rock-like door with her sword and see how that goes for her. First one seems to just clang right off. The second one carves a bit of a groove into the face of the door, and you can see some visible cracking going on. The structural integrity of the door seems to be not so great. Between the damage that Dane dealt to it and a little bit kind of chipped in by others, this thing is looking like it could crumble very soon. And that's going to be it for Muriel, which brings us to Greg. What are you doing?
I'm going to rage. And
You
then
rage.
reckless attack the door. Try
Alright.
and finish it off and get in there to help.
Okay. Alright, so you let out this loud battle cry and pull your great axe from your back, swinging it down toward the big amber door that stands at least partially still in your way. And as you impact the door and feel it kind of buckle under the weight of the blow. A pitch black pulse of energy bursts out from the crumbling door, dealing 16 points of damage to Yoan, Esmeralda, Rictavio, the giant rat, Ron, Muriel, and Greg.
How much? You said 16?
16, yeah.
Okay.
What type of damage is it?
Necrotic.
Alright, I take.
You take full.
Booch.
Way to go.
Okay. Let me just go through and update everybody's health now.
Oh, I just did. 9.
Well, yeah. Gosh, how many does the rat have? I'm going to move you for a second, Ron.
That's fine.
10 or something. I don't even know.
Okay, so the rat turns to dust. It just disintegrates where it stands, and Ron kind of plops down on the ground.
Yeah, I've got 7 health.
Okay, and let's see, we got Muriel here. Okay. So, the door is down. What now?
I would like to run in there and attack whatever enemy I can.
Okay, so there are two pretty readily visible as you run in. One is, like, you can see the fire around it beginning to flicker and almost die out. The other one, a little bit closer to you on the left as you walk in there, your left walking in, seems to be a little more intact.
I will use my second attack to try and finish it.
The weak one?
The one on the right.
Oh, okay. So the strong one. Gotcha. All right. So yeah, you run in and heft the great axe and bring it down on the skull, and yeah, you hit and you kind of shave off like a quarter of the skull, just kind of goes flying, but yeah, it's still hovering there.
Alright, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Dane, you're halfway up this 20-foot shaft in the ceiling. What are you doing?
I'm going to climb back down a little ways and take a swing at the weak one.
Okay. So let's see. To be able to reach that. Well, yeah, because it's only a 10-foot ceiling. So yeah, you can walk down, and we'll say you use 15 feet of movement to go back down, and then over one, and you attack, and yeah, you hit no problem, and just lightsaber your way through the flame skull, and it kind of just disintegrates as the holy light just destroys it practically from the inside out.
All right. I guess I'll wander over to the other one as well.
Okay. And that's also going to hit. And it's going to do quite a bit of damage. And you swing at this one, and yeah, you think for a moment that the flame has gone out, but you see just this little tiny flame, almost, it seems to be just coming out of a crack in the top of the skull. This thing is, for all intents and purposes, already defeated, but still just barely alive.
Great. Okay. Well, that's it.
Okay. So that one that is just barely alive, and I think we'll say Dane is basically. I mean, you'd essentially have to be in the same square just above it, so like in order to reach it. So you end up like right there.
Okay. Well, they're floating in the air too, right?
Yeah, not super high,
Oh, okay.
but yeah. Okay, so then this one. All right. I think it is going to. It begins kind of chattering, muttering something. But it does seem a bit distracted by the fact that there are some big, strong fighter types in its face. And so. Okay, let me make a check here. All right, so a sphere of swirling red flame appears in the area that Dane is currently occupying. And I need Dane to make a dex save. Okay. Let's see here. See if this will actually pop so I can just see what it's supposed to be. That'd be cool, right? Okay, so you make your dex save, and you are just ever so slightly singed for 2 points of fire damage.
All right.
And yeah, I think the thing just stays there, stands its ground. And with the other two down, that'll bring us to Esmeralda, who doesn't have. Well, the door's down now, so she can run in and try and put an end to this with her silvered short sword. So she's going to swing that, and she hits it squarely and just scatters the already kind of loosely held together pieces of this flame skull against the wall. And as the echoes and reverberations from that last conclusive blow kind of die down, you find yourselves once again in silence in the Amber Temple. So,
I'm walking in.
walking in.
I'll walk over and just casually place my hand on it. I'm gonna keep my back to it though, so the rest of the group doesn't see.
Okay. So you go ahead and try and make a sleight of hand check, because this is kind of
Okay. Fuck.
Okay, so it's
You know what?
pretty.
I'm gonna re-roll that. I'm gonna use my last luck of the day.
Okay. All right. Cool. So
I still notice.
I mean,
Do what he wants.
pretty close. But what is your passive?
16.
Well, there you go.
I'll just put
Okay.
my hand on it and activate it.
Okay. So you do that, and you immediately feel this kind of unease, almost as though you've suddenly fallen ill with some sort of strange sickness or disease. You hear this raspy voice kind of whisper to you from inside the block of amber. And it says, "My name is Fikre, Queen of Poxes. I bid you to accept my gift. It is one of great power. You will be known as one who controls health and disease at your command. Your name will reek of power."
I smell myself. And I'll just say, I like smelling good. And I'll put my hand off.
Okay.
I'll say, so, I'll let you guys see what these guys are. And I'll just walk over and lean by the door. Or where the door was, I'm just lean against the wall.
Okay. Is anyone else doing anything?
I'll ask Ron, which ones have you checked?
Just this one, and I'll point over to that. That one sounded sick, though.
I'll ask
Brown.
Dane.
I was just gonna ask if you were like saying something and somehow muted yourself in like the 2 seconds you weren't talking, but go ahead.
I was just gonna ask Dane if he wants to touch it first.
I'll walk down and touch the one directly below me.
Okay. So you do that, and it's sort of a familiar sensation by now. This communing with something not entirely of your realm. You hear, kind of just echoing in your voice, another deep, powerful voice that says, "Hello, traveler. You stand before Psychane, the soul hungerer. I offer you complete control over death. A great power it is, but it has a price. And whenever you use it, you'll also collect the price to be paid."
I'll just walk away.
Okay.
I'll ask Dane what it said or offered.
Control over death.
Sounds intriguing. I'll put my hand on it.
Okay. You do so, and that same voice speaks into your head. Oh, a formidable warrior approaches. But can you say you've bested death?
I do well not to come close to dying.
A sound tactic, to be sure. But what of those that are not of such stern stock? Would you not wish to change the tides of fate?
What exactly are you offering?
Control over death. Great power.
What are any side effects?
Says, well, such great powers as this have prices attached to them, but need not be a price that you pay yourself. Merely one that is accounted for in some fashion by someone.
Well, I don't have to pay it. What exactly is the price? Maybe I can get other people to pay it for me.
I think you'll be able to discern what the service is worth as soon as you hold the power to render it.
I guess I'll take it.
Practically rolling his eyes as he accepts power over death. All right. And so as you're standing there with your hand pressed against the amber block, you feel something really foreign to you sort of just fall upon your physical presence. Something magical. And this is the part where I tell the barbarian that he now has 3 uses of the Raise Dead spell. And, well, some other stuff.
Do I have any flaws or anything?
I mean, if you were to have such a thing, I'd probably be sending it to you in Discord right about now.
Sweet. On top of not taking no for an answer.
Any visible changes?
So as his hand kind of slides down back to his side, and Greg turns and looks back at the group, you all see his eyes glowing a sickly yellow color. But that seems to be about it.
So, what do you got there, Greg?
Control over death.
What? What does that do?
Do I know specifically in character what it does now that I have it?
Yeah.
I can, limited times only, raise people from the dead.
Like a zombie?
Do I have full intricate knowledge of the spell?
Yeah.
Alright. I think it can just resurrect people.
Pretty much. Hey, hold on for 1 second, guys.
Okay.
I think this is what was used like out of character. I think this is what was used on you when you died.
I thought he used Revivify.
Hmm. Maybe? I don't know. This is a 5th level spell.
Is it what was used on the saber tooth?
That
Sabercat?
yes, I believe that
Or-
is.
Or yeah, it might have been that. I know it was used sometime during this campaign. Oh, this campaign's gonna. This shit's gonna hit the fan quick.
Hey, wait a second, Greg. You said you can bring people up back from the dead?
A limited amount of times, but yes.
Why don't you do that to my buddy Malkar? And then I'll go into the ring and say, hey, Malkar, are you there?
Yes, what is it?
Hey, I think I found a way for you to come back to life. Give me a couple minutes, I'll have him bring back your body, and I'll slide the ring back on. I think that's how that works, right?
Hmm?
How you can get back to your body? Or will he just revive you with your soul? I'm talking to your soul, right?
Yeah. Well, it's
Oh.
me, but like, that's all that's there.
But yeah, so I'll give you the ring back when he brings you back.
Nope.
Nope, what?
Like, out of character, I can't turn undead creatures to life.
Could you bring the actual Melkar back? Because Melkar wasn't dead for that long. You know what I'm saying? Like, you turned into a vampire, like, less than 10 days ago.
No, I can't do it. Not to someone whose body's been that destroyed.
Really?
Yeah, it says the spell closes all mortal wounds, but it does not restore missing body parts. If the creature is lacking body parts or organs internal or integral for its survival, its head, for instance, the spell automatically fails.
Damn. Alright, I guess I'll go back into the ring and say, well, scratch that, Melkar. We can't do that. This guy's not powerful enough.
What is he useful for then?
I don't know. He's big and strong, though, I guess. So he's kind of an idiot. So he's good for sending in to, bust through doors and stuff.
Okay, I'm back. Becca's
We have
back-ing at the moment.
We have successfully RP'd this entire time.
Right.
So, basically, Ron and Greg, and then Ron and Melkar, and then Ron and Greg.
Okay. And what came of that?
I was gonna have Greg revive Melkar, but we turned out we can't. So
Body's too mangled, plus he was an undead creature.
Yeah.
But couldn't you go, like, if it's still within 10 days, couldn't you still raise him to before he was a vampire? Or no?
That's not how that works.
It's once you go vampire, you can't go back.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
he was an undead creature, and yeah, that the fact that he was an undead creature at any point means he is an undead creature.
Gotcha.
You can't undead and undead.
I mean, you can't undead, I guess,
Okay.
is the thing.
All right.
But yeah. So that's a thing. And now that Becca's back, I don't know if Yoan wants to get in on any of this, but there is that option.
Sure. I guess I will start tapping blocks of amber.
Okay, which one would you like to start with?
Let's go clockwise, starting at the 3 o'clock.
Okay. So that is the one where you touch it and hear a low, powerful voice introduce itself as Psychane the Soul Hunger and offer you complete control over death. A great power, but it has a price. But whenever you use this power, you'll also collect the price to be paid.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, oddly cryptic, huh?
I will move on to the next one.
Okay.
Like, I think I know what he's going at, but if he's not going to tell me, I'm not going to deal with it.
Okay. So you walk down to the southern block and place your hand on it. Another lower, kind of rumbly voice says, "My name is Zrinhala, the Howling Storm." It's very concerning.
No, that was a howling storm. Could you not tell?
It sounded like a whimpering drizzle.
Well,
Anyway, the voice asks you, "Do you think you can withstand the true power of storms?"
yes.
That power is what I can offer you. A name for yourself as a storm, at least while you can survive.
I can already create storms. I'll move on to the next one.
Everyone's just like, "Bitch, please." Okay. Move on to the third amber block in this room. And you hear a kind of gravelly, almost whispered type of voice. Meta for a second, very reminiscent of like the Night Mother in Skyrim.
Oh, okay.
And it says, "My name is Fikre, Queen of Poxes. I bid you to accept my gift. It is one of great power. You will be known as one who controls health and disease at your command. Your name will reek of power."
I have also read Elder Scrolls lore. I am going to decline that one and move on.
You've also read Elder Scrolls lore?
Yeah. Do you not know that story? I think it's like, what, Prince of Beggars or something?
Beggar Prince, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. So, nope.
Okay. Anyone else like to look into anything?
I am satisfied for now.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
All set.
All right. So, yeah, standing in this room with the ember blocks and the shaft leading up to some room up above, a crumbled amber door kind of scattered about the entryway. What's the next move?
I mean, should we go up?
I can run up and check what's up there real quick.
Okay.
All right. So Dane just sort of strolls up the wall.
This leads to that room that had the hole in the floor, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It basically puts you one door removed from the large balcony at the entrance of the temple.
Okay, I'll come down and tell this to them.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. Next room.
All right. So the closest room off to the side near this end of the hallway. In front of you stands another large, pristine amber door.
Is that here? Uh,
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'll stand there. Okay. Actually, I lied. I'll stand there.
You liar.
I guess I'll cut into this door as well. It's the only way we found to get into it.
Oh, wait. I'm gonna turn into a rhino and knock it down.
Oh, well, I'm not going
I mean,
to stand in the way.
there you go. All right.
I want to back up this time.
I'm going to be
Bust out the rhino here. Let's
Yeah,
see. Do we have a rhino in this campaign, or is that only Saturday?
that's only Saturday.
So it is.
I've never been a rhino yet, but rhinos are unicorns, so I figured being a unicorn would be helpful in this situation.
Sure.
Well,
Sound logic.
You have one pointy horn. I can just stab the door with it to make a weak point.
Okay, so as the rhino basically, I would imagine, kind of backs up and prepares to charge, where's everybody else situating themselves?
So that we all die from necrotic energy.
I'm going to go back in that
Viking.
room.
Okay, back in the room. I think Muriel's on board with that idea. And then maybe like Esmeralda and Rotavio. Let's see. They're kind of like keeping watch up this way. And Yoan is the rhino, so we don't need to worry about that so much. I guess we'll just stick the Yoan token in that room there. Okay, and
I am the
what
rhino.
else do we have? Yeah, Ron, where are you?
I'm on the rhino, of course.
You're on the rhino, of course. Okay, naturally. Okay, so I assume the intent here is just keep ramming the door until it comes down.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we'll see how many attempts this takes. It's not really so much a success or fail thing. Well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I critted on mine. First attack.
You did. And you see, as you charge into the door, a number of cracks begin to appear along the outside of it after just that first hit.
I'm a very successful rhino.
There you go. Keep going.
Yes.
You back up, and lower your head, come barreling toward the door again, and you notice it's kind of a narrow door, and you actually miss this time,
Ow.
running into the wall.
That was a reaction to me getting hit by a fork, not me running into a wall.
I was wondering.
Originally, it was me getting into the wall, hit it into the wall, but then I got hit by the fork.
Preemptive reaction.
Well, by the time I ended saying ow, it had hit me.
Anyway, keep going.
Yes.
26 is going to hit. And yeah, you kind of shake off that last miss, run toward the door. Yeah, the structural integrity of this door is pretty severely compromised, but it's still there. Keep going.
Yes. Let's blow open the door.
Okay, on your fourth attempt, you charge at the door and shatter it. And in the process,
Did necrotic damage.
I mean, you don't know. Um, yeah, so once again, a pitch black pulse of necrotic energy bursts from the crumbling door, dealing 25 points of necrotic damage to your rhino form and to Ron.
How much health does my rhino have?
Your rhino has more than 25.
I'm still a rhino!
Yeah, you're a rhino with 20 HP.
Okay, is anything trying to kill me in there?
Well, let me pull the now non-existent door out of your way and show you. And
So
Yeah.
no, it's just more blocks.
pretty much.
I want to charge to the next door then.
I'm jumping off. I'm jumping off.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm going in. I'm going in.
All right.
I'm just gonna collapse right there in the middle.
I think we're gonna
Okay.
use a nap for a little bit soon. Ron's looking a little sore.
Okay. Attacking the next door.
Okay, having very much established a pattern at this point, I think everyone gives you a really wide berth, at least all the NPCs, unless somebody wants to ride the rhino again.
Nope, I'm good.
And yeah. So, bring the rhino. Whoop. Roll 20, please. Okay. Do. One attack. 2 attacks, but that one's a miss. 3 attacks. 4 attacks once again, and you barrel through this amber door. And there's no burst of black energy this time. And you go stumbling through the remnants of this third amber door. And you find yourself in a small room. Let's see here. So, a white marble bed stands near the center of a bare stone room.
Can I see it? Or
Yeah, one second. Its mattress, long since rotted away. Golden hawks perch atop the bed's corner posts, and the room's remaining furnishings have been reduced to dust-covered heaps. Cobwebs cover arcane sigils carved into the walls.
Cool. Nothing seems to be trying to kill me here either. So I am gonna... There's one more room, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and bust through that one.
Okay.
What happened while I was gone?
I am running through rooms, destroying the doors.
Trogdor would be proud. Alright, so Yo and the Rhino just moves right on down to the next door.
This is the last door? Or is there one more?
This is the last one, yeah.
Okay.
And so having to kind of step around fallen bits of rubble and debris, you begin your assault on this final door in this hallway. And it is 1, 2 attacks is all it takes to bust down this final door. And as it crumbles, there is once again no burst of black energy. As you stumble through the broken chunks of amber into another seemingly long abandoned room. Almost everything in the room has kind of collapsed and just succumbed to the damage of time, except for the thing that's standing in the center of the room. Its head scraping the 10-foot high ceiling. A vaguely man-shaped construct made of dark wood and riveted iron. Its helmed head stares blindly in your direction. Cobwebs stretch from whatever this thing is to the wrecked furniture that surrounds it.
It's not reacting to me at all.
No.
Can I poke it gently with the tip of my horn?
Yeah, you slowly approach and just give it a little nudge. No reaction.
Okay. I will walk back out and walk down here and unrhino myself.
Okay.
Well, all the doors are broken down now. Those two don't have necrotic energy. But one of them has a suit of armor in it.
Like one I could wear?
More like your other suit of armor, I think.
Oh, okay, that works too.
As soon as I hear that, I go running down there.
Okay.
Which one was it?
The last door, the one right by the rubble.
I'll follow Ron.
Yeah, I can't see.
I'll come back because I've only seen it through rhino eyes.
Okay.
I have no light.
I'm
Right.
coming.
Alright. First things first, I'll walk in and touch it, and I would like to Arcana check it just to see if I can detect any magic about it.
Okay. Yeah, make an Arcana check. I would say with that check, the way it's positioned, so that it's almost staring at the doorway, kind of at whoever walks in or walks out, seems to suggest that was at least at some point animate in some sense of the word.
Do I detect any faint magic at all with it?
I mean, it's like an Arcana check is more about knowing how magic works and kind of seeing signs of it, like runes or things like that. I think I think you probably just have like this gut feeling that like, yeah, this thing was probably magical somehow, but I don't think you have an idea on what exactly was the driving force behind it.
Yeah, I mean, there is still magic about it, though.
That would be your suspicion, but
Okay.
it's not like you can just, reach out with your feelings and sense it or anything.
I don't need to reach out with my feelings. I'll just reach out and cast Identify on it. I just wanted
What's
to
a
know...
feeling?
Yeah, I just didn't know whether to waste Identify on it or not.
Okay.
So, if it's magical, fuck yeah, I'll identify it.
All right. So, doing the quick version here, where you're just burning a slot and identifying. All right. So, I think it's reasonable that, first of all, you definitely know this is a magical thing. It is imbued with a type of enchantment magic. And this is a construct, you are now able to tell, a construct known as a shield guardian.
Okay.
And I think due to the nature of the spell that you're using, you can get a pretty good idea of how it works. So, you gather that somewhere out there in the world is a particular amulet that is magically linked to this thing. There is only one amulet that will work, and if it's destroyed, if the amulet is destroyed, the Shield Guardian is incapacitated until a replacement is created and tied to it.
Do I know how to tie like an amulet to it?
It would probably take a bit of trial and error as far as correctly, like basically attuning it to the Shield Guardian, but a quick estimate, I would say you're able to gather that it would take possibly a week or more and like a lot of expensive components. Talking probably somewhere in the 4-figure range.
Okay. Gotcha. I'll say, well, it was at one point active. I think it's dead. We need a lot of money to get it back. Got about a week.
I want to go touch it too. See what it does.
As soon as he touches it, I'm going to cast a message at Dane and just go, "Ah!" right in his ear. So that only he hears it, and then I'm gonna run out of the room.
Okay. So yeah, Dane, that's the thing that happens.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean the thing doesn't spring to life or anything like that.
I pull out that amulet that I found in the room upstairs.
Okay.
See if it does anything with that.
I think you see the head of the creature kind of turn and look at the amulet.
Ooh. All right, let's go. I'll tell it to see if it follows me.
Okay. It follows you.
Hopefully this one doesn't die too quickly.
Dane is the only one that gets them.
Dane is the construct whisperer.
I'll kill this one too. Don't worry.
Probably. I'll tell it to keep an eye out on that one.
Can I search the rest of the room?
Yeah. So, I'm not even gonna make you roll. Like, there's just a bunch of ruined furniture and nothing of value in this room.
No, that's not exciting. Okay. I didn't even say it's not exciting. I said it's non-exciting. By the way.
Okay.
On to the next one.
Yeah. Can I search this room too?
I'll
It
help.
seems pretty empty, but
Yeah, I mean, I would say, just to kind of run through the general contents, like white marble bed with a rotted mattress. Atop the bedpost are like golden hawk figurines, basically. I mean, they're attached to the post of the bed. Everything else is collapsed, rotted, covered in cobwebs. The bed itself is probably also covered in a pretty thick layer of dust and cobwebs, but just due to the composition of the frame, it seems to be faring a little better than the wooden stuff surrounding it.
are the hawks actual gold? Like, if I pry them off, will they be worth something?
Well, if you wanted to perhaps try and make a check for that.
I will ask Dane too, because he knows materials better than I do.
Okay.
I'll walk over and try and chop one off with the sword.
So you
Just
could
lightsaber that shit right off.
I just want to know if it's gold or not.
So, like a hot knife through butter, he slices one of these golden hawks off of the nearest bedpost. And, yeah, let's see. I mean, functionally, this is pretty similar to like if I were to have you make a stone cunning type thing.
Okay.
So, I'll allow you to use the bonus. I mean, it's something that a dwarf would know about, I think.
I would think
Gold?
so.
I hope so.
Not very good dwarf.
You are
So-
a failure as a dwarf.
So yeah, I believe that's what, a history check, but you get to add your proficiency bonus twice rather than once.
Yeah.
So I guess make a history check and.
I don't need it anyways. I
Whew,
know exactly what this is.
yeah. So you are holding in your hand a solid gold hawk.
I'm gonna go chop off the other three.
All right.
I'm curious, did you ever roll a charisma save for me?
Indeed, I did.
Okay.
You failed. He's just not telling you.
Yeah, I'll go chop off the other three and hand one to Yoan. Say, yep, it's gold.
Awesome. Do I have an idea of how much this would fetch?
I think with that roll that Dane just made there, whether he tells you or not is one thing, but Dane, you would know that each one of these things is probably worth about 250 gold.
I'll tell her that. Tell him that.
Cool. We should definitely keep these. Okay, guess when we're done, move it to the next, the last room with the blocks of amber in it.
Okay.
I'll start touching them again.
All right. Where would you like to start this time?
North.
North. Okay. So you
Who wants to be the holder of the eagles or
I'll hang
hawks?
on to that.
Okay.
All right. So you walk up to the northern amber block in this room and place your hand on it. And almost immediately you hear a kind of, well, I would call it an unassuming voice, given the borderline overcompensatory nature of the other ones that you've heard so far. You just hear this voice that says, I am Savnok, the Inscrutable. You can hear me only because I'm letting you. No one can ever read or disrupt my mind. And this power can be yours, too, if you accept it.
What do you want in return?
It says, well, I wouldn't say that it's something that I want, but my gift has side effects. Nothing that would really be of any import to you.
Well, I would like to be the judge of that. What are they?
Simply a cosmetic change. You'll still have all of your faculties, and, well, you'll be impervious to meddlesome mind reading and the like.
What type of cosmetic change?
Well, they do call me the Inscrutable.
I'll move on to the next one.
Okay. The next one being the eastern one?
Yeah.
Okay. So you walk over, place the hand on the block. And once again, we hear this kind of sinister voice, kind of almost hissing into your head. It says, I am Tarakamides, the grave worm. I offer you a gift of dark power. With it, the sky will be yours, and you will find no limit.
This guy is already mine. I'll go to the next one.
Really showing off that that charisma boost you got there.
Yep. How dare you insinuate such a thing? Okay. Last one.
Okay. You walk
Poke.
down there. Hand on the block. Ah. A pretty traveler from far lands. When I roamed the world like you, all desires were within my reach. My very word was enough to collect anything or anyone I wished. Do you wish to be as persuasive as I used to be?
What would you like in return?
Only for you to use my gift to find pleasure, create beauty.
Well, I'm not sure I understand your definition of beauty if you think I'm beautiful. Or pretty, as you said.
Well, I think there's more to be said for beauty than conventional standards.
And what do you think is beautiful then?
I think there's beauty in all things.
So then, what's the point of your gift? If there's beauty in all things, why does anything need to be changed?
I never said there was equal beauty in all things. But pleasure, happiness, comfort, these are beautiful.
Are there... Hmm. Hmm. I will accept your gift.
Okay. So, get to the good part here. Yoan,
Yeah.
you now have 3 uses of the suggestion spell.
Forever and ever, just their uses.
3 uses. And there's more. Which is going to be interesting, I think.
TPK.
Did you get that message?
Mm. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so you feel slightly empowered and you kind of come back to awareness of your surroundings. Your hands still kind of resting on the amber block. As you're about to pull it down to your side, you notice something kind of strange about your hand.
What's with my hand?
It has 6 fingers now.
Oh, okay. Both hands or just one?
Both hands.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I whisper to Yoan, what did they say this time?
Um, well, gosh, I can't even remember the first one.
The first one was Savnok the Inscrutable.
Like, well, that one says you'll be inscrutable, but has a cosmetic change that he won't tell me. This one seems to want to give you command of the skies, and this one...
Wants cheese for everyone.
Yes. Likes beauty.
What does inscrutable mean?
Um, Unable to get a good read on.
That could be useful in battle. I put my hand on it.
Okay. And yeah, I think you just hear a nice cordial voice. It says, "Hello, traveler. Interested, are we?"
Very much so.
Well, would you like to be able to block out mind reading and all that sort of funny business?
Who wouldn't?
A valid point. Do you accept?
I do.
Okay. So, Greg, you are now effectively. You have the effects of a mind blank spell on you for the next year.
But
Well, you feel this strange. It's a strange sensation as your eyes begin to feel quite odd, and you kind of look around, maybe try to catch a glimpse of what's going on in the reflection in the amber, and as you finally line things up just right to see what's going on, you catch the last little bit of the fluid that was once your eyeballs running down your face. You can still see just fine, but you have no eyes.
Is it still that little faint yellow glow?
Yeah, but you can see through it to the back of the little cavity where your your eye once rested.
I want to cover my eyes and then like kind of just crack between my fingers so I could peer through my fingers. And then go up to Ron and kneel down to him so my face is right in front of his, and then I want to move my hand.
Well, I just watched your eyes melt out of your skull.
Aw, trying to be scary.
I mean, I just watched it happen, and you're not like screaming or anything, so I assume it didn't really hurt.
Felt pretty weird.
I'm gonna reach out and just put my finger in his eye. Since he's right there next to me, I'm just fuck it. I'm putting my finger in his eye hole.
All right, well that's a thing that happens.
Yep.
Am I able to like turn my view to see inwards? Since I don't have eyes restricting me.
We'll say sure.
Where's my brain?
Good question.
You didn't have one.
This is quite weird.
What do you see?
Everything seems normal. I just don't have eyes anymore.
But can you see in the dark?
Take a step outside. Can I see better than I normally could?
You cannot see any better than you normally could.
Go back in. It said, nope. Vision is still the same.
Well, that's stupid. You've got glowy eyes. Why can't you see in the dark? And I'll just kind of walk out, and I'm going to join Esmeralda.
Okay.
I look up that mind link spell. Aww.
he is now a karate master.
Thinking I want to go touch that one as well.
Not the flying one?
Nah.
Holy crap.
Also, yeah, Brown, there was one more little thing about that I just sent you.
I was wondering when it was gonna happen.
All right, and so Dane, you're walking up to which one?
The eye melting one.
Okay. Now knowing full well what's gonna happen.
He has 3 empty eyes.
I have 3 empty eye sockets now. Yay.
Does he have 3 or?
um, I think the extra eye stays right where it is.
Oh, okay. I got 2 empty eye sockets and a weird one. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, needless to say, you just hop right on board, huh?
Yeah, that one sounds good.
Okay. So Dane has no eyes. Well, he has 1 eye that doesn't work, and he has 2 not eyes that do work.
I'm curious. Do I still have eyelids, or is it just like smoothed out like a skull?
No, you still have eyelids.
Weird.
But yeah, Dane, you two are now under the effects of a mind blank spell for the next year.
It's OP.
Okay.
Anybody else have any business they want to do it to?
Nope.
Satisfied from this room, go to the next.
Let's go find some more rooms to destroy.
Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna group everybody up. So don't move your tokens.
Move them everywhere.
Bring everybody.
Don't forget my new friend.
I know.
Yeah, don't kill this one.
I didn't kill the last one.
Thank you very much. Okay. So we bring everybody back out of this hallway to basically the entrance from the hall. And you are standing once again in the large lower level of the entry chamber here. There are 3 ways that haven't yet been explored. There's a set of double doors to the north, kind of sitting beneath the balcony that is still intact up there. There is another set of double doors against the south wall, situated between the 2 flights of stairs that lead back up to the balcony, like the large entry balcony. And across the room from you, there is what looks like the first few feet of another hallway, probably mirroring at least the layout of what you've seen thus far in the hallway behind you.
We try out these doors since they're right here.
What time of day is it?
Let's see. So you guys, like, it hasn't been that long really since you took a long rest, because you fought off the amber golem and then you pressed north a bit. It didn't take long for you to discover the first room with the blocks. So I would say, all told, it's probably like, let's assume you got kind of a normal start. It's probably like a little before noon.
We should take a lunchtime.
Yeah, I could use a short break.
Right here in the middle of the room, or do you want to get up in the corner?
We can go back in one of those rooms that we were in earlier. One of them in the hallway.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, Yeah, you go back to wherever. But yeah. And so settle down for a short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to use some hit dice and read my book.
Okay.
Is someone being a bard?
Someone is indeed being a bard.
All that nice.
Indeed.
So I get an extra d8 on top of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can keep it.
I need all those.
I'm gonna read my book.
Yeah, Ron got Vox Machina over there. Those doors fucked him up.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, is everybody set for mechanical things at this point?
Oh, I didn't need that last one, so I have one hit die.
Ah, okay.
Don't remember if I get rage back after short rest or a long rest. A long rest. Poo.
Yep, I am
Okay.
ready.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, you take your short rest, and nothing seems to mess with you as you do so. And after an hour or so of, light meal and reading in some cases, and just kind of generally recovering a bit from the morning's activities, you are back up and ready to roll. And it sounded like Greg wants to check out the double doors to the north.
Yeah, we were right there.
I'll go with it.
I will follow.
Okay.
Behind like 10 feet, though.
All right.
Push the door open.
Okay, make a strength check. You attempt to push the doors open, but they do not move.
I want to stick my sword in the gap between the two doors.
Okay. And are you trying to pry them open?
They're
Or
amber
you-
doors, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see if they melt and
Okay. We'll call this an attack then. Go ahead and make an attack with your sun sword. All right. Yeah. So you stick the flaming blade of the sun sword in, and it does begin to basically melt part of the amber away. It's not enough to fully get through the doors, but you can at least see some semblance of what's in the room. There doesn't look to be any source of light in there, so all you can see is what's illuminated by the flame of the sword. Inside, you can see off to each side of the room look to be piles of assorted things. I mean, we're talking anything from beaten up, rusted out armor and weapons to some loose coins to a handful of books. all just kind of cast seemingly randomly into these piles.
All right, well, let's get through these doors. There's shiny stuff in there.
Okay.
I try and ram through the door,
Like attack?
like back up and try and shoulder ram through it, like a forceful push.
You can make a strength check again.
Oh, please don't fail me.
You try. It hurts, but the doors don't move. So, safe to assume then people are going to keep trying to, like, basically break through the doors, crumbling them or melting them or whatever.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
keep trying to cut at it, like where the lock would be.
Okay.
I'll walk back. These doors are evil.
All right. So it takes a while, probably the better part of like a minute or two to kind of beat up these doors enough to be able to access what's beyond them. But I don't think we need to make any more rolls. It's really just a question of, how long will it take? And if there's not any dire consequences to be had, I'm not going to waste our time with that. So you finish breaking down the doors, and you can see, looking around inside, there are piles of treasure heaped along the west and east walls of this otherwise bare stone room. And looking toward the back, there's kind of a rounded, like semicircular area, and there's a sizable crack in the wall that seems to lead through to, well, something else. You can see that it seems to extend for at least another. How far can we see it, I wonder? It extends for a bit. There seems to be something back behind this room as well.
I'll walk in.
Okay.
Start
So-
looking at the piles.
Yeah, you see
Yeah.
6 distinctive piles of treasure in here. Which one do you want to check out first?
Lower left.
Lower left. Okay.
I will follow him in.
All right. And I assume Dane's bringing his new friend as well.
Yeah, my new friend can come too.
Okay.
Me too, because I can't see without him.
All right. And so, Dane, you dig into the first pile. And so, at first glance, you just kind of size things up. You find a bunch of loose copper pieces. Quite a few loose gemstones. 3 rusted suits of plate armor in their various pieces. 9 rusted shields. And a tiny sarcophagus made of black wood inlaid with gold.
How rusted is the armor?
Like, to the point of being virtually worthless.
Dang it. Fine. I'll drag out the sarcophagus.
Okay. So, yeah, just like pull it from the pile and try and take a look at it, kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, you grab the sarcophagus, pull it out of the pile. A few coins kind of like slide off of it and rattle, clang down to the ground. And as you do that, You hear a loud thumping sound.
Ooh,
It
another one.
doesn't seem to have a source, but it sounds close.
Thumping one like the Amber Golem?
Quite a bit like the Amber Golem.
Ooh, okay.
And yeah, so it seems to be quite close and closing.
Sound like it's coming from in the room or out of the room.
Let's have everybody make a perception check to see what they can kind of figure out about the situation here. And I would say everybody could go ahead and make it because it's pretty loud. Okay. All right. So Greg, as you're kind of peeking in over everyone else's shoulders, not really much of a challenge for you given your height advantage. You see that there are cracks forming along the floor at the opposite side of the room, seemingly getting closer with every thump.
I want to point out the cracks and say, something's going on with the floor.
And it's at about this point that there is a loud whooshing sound as out of nowhere something impacts Dane and practically knocks him against the wall that he's standing by. Dane, you take 17 points of bludgeoning damage as something really big and really solid almost knocks you off your feet.
Okay.
And I think it is time to roll some more initiatives. Let me clear the old one.
Shoot, how'd it get to me?
Ah,
It's got some reach. Okay, so we'll remember that. Remember that 22 for Greg. I can roll for everybody else, and that just makes it easier all around because otherwise I have to like maneuver stuff around. Okay, we got that thing. We got initiative for them. And for them, and they're probably going to be up a little closer. They'd probably be like about there. All right. So as Dane gets thumped, what's Greg doing?
are the cracks like right there?
They seem to stop basically right in front of. Well, okay. So you gather it's a large creature, and it's probably standing right about there.
Can I push my way through the crowd and get to there?
Yeah, they're all friendly, so yeah.
Alright, I guess I'm gonna attempt a reckless attack, whatever invisible thing is right here.
Okay, so that's a straight attack roll because you get to cancel out the disadvantage from being invisible. Okay. So, let me double check the AC on this thing. All right, so you hit both times, and you feel almost like you're breaking down one of these doors or something. But yeah, you seem to do a good bit of damage to whatever this big thing is. And yeah, anything else?
I guess I'm going to bonus action rage.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Dane, you just got clocked. What you doing?
Stand back up and hit what hit me.
Okay. So all right, so yeah, you're gonna run up there and do your thing. It's gonna be with disadvantage because you can't see the creature.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, that first attack whiffs. Second one, come back around, swing, miss again.
This is good. Okay. Then I'm gonna tell my suit of armor to kill it.
All right, Yoan.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure it's up here. Right here, right?
Yeah.
I am gonna cast Moonbeam on it
Okay.
at level 2.
All right. So let's see.
Just
All right. So it's got to make a con save. So let's get that taken care of. Or wait, does it? It doesn't have to do that yet, does it?
no, start of
It
its turn.
starts its turn. Yep. Okay. Cool. So remind me of that.
Okay.
All right. Muriel is going to do what Muriel does and fly through the doors, or what was once the doors, and start trying to attack this thing. I guess she'll kind of swoop around here. And makes a couple of attacks with her sword. One. Okay, first one hits. Second one misses. So you hear a kind of scraping sound as the sword does cut into something. And I think that's going to be it for Muriel. And so we'll get to the Shield Guardian. And that thing is going to... I'm just going to start swinging. So let's get this going. 2 attacks. One is a miss. You just hear the kind of creaking and crackling as the thing begins to exert itself for the first time in probably years, decades, maybe a century or more. The first one's a miss. Second one, though, finds its mark. And you hear a loud thump as it connects pretty squarely.
What is it attacking with?
It's balled fists.
Okay.
So
All right.
not doing much damage.
I mean, it's got big fists.
But its fists are not as good as a sword.
Okay. So I think that'll be it for the Shield Guardian, which then will bring us back to the Invisible Assailant.
Okay, now Moonbeam.
Okay. So that's a con save. Do. It's an 18.
Yeah. It passes.
Okay, and it's still half, so it takes 9 points of radiant damage.
I don't know if it's a shape changer or anything, but it's engulfed in ghostly flames, so you can see that it exists. It's now an invisible thing engulfed in flames. So as long as you know that there's flames, you know where it's at.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you do see a kind of familiar hulking shape wreathed in flames. It's got, uh, like I said, kind of a humanoid shape to it with a bird-like head. And it is indeed right where you thought it was. And seems pretty intently focused on Dane.
Great.
Fuck with its treasure.
So, this is the part where it makes some attacks. Actually, it's going to make one attack of sorts.
Oh no. That's scarier than it making multiple attacks.
So, everybody who's within 10 feet of this thing needs to make a wisdom save.
Um,
Sorry.
It's all right.
Trying to see if I have anything that helps that. I don't think I do. Alright.
everyone fails. We all die.
I have my Indomitable. I think I'm going to use that.
Okay. So, yeah, go ahead and roll
That's
that.
a little better.
That is a little better. That is considerably better. Okay. Oh, and the Shield Guardian too, and Muriel. All right. Shield Guardian is not very wise, believe it or not, and fails its save. Muriel is pretty wise, but fails her save anyway. Okay, so of the people within 10 feet of this thing, the only one to succeed is Dane.
It's higher than 16?
Just
Wow.
barely. Just barely. So, everyone in the room, basically, except Dane, is now in it. Or okay, so you can't use reactions. Your movement speed is halved, and you can't make more than one attack on your turn.
Frickin' made us slow.
Mm-hmm.
So that. And the spell thing too.
I'm curious, is this considered a divination spell?
No.
Okay.
Is it also with the spell component of slow too?
Like, are you asking if it uses a component?
No. In slow, there's a thing where your spells either happen this turn or next turn.
That is not here.
Okay.
But also worth noting, you can take either an action or a bonus action on your turn, not both. So remember to keep re-rolling your wisdom saves at the end of all your turns, because you can feasibly shake out of this.
Is this affecting my mind?
No, not really.
Okay.
Good try, though.
I mean, it's a wisdom save, that's why I thought that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that was pretty useful. But I think that's it for its turn, and so brings us to Rictavio. Let's see. All right. He is going to come running up and see if there's a thing he can do. I feel like more often than not, there's not a thing he can do, but it's worth looking into.
Run in and get in the way.
Poor Octavio.
Okay. So, Rictavio is going to... Gonna come up and cast a spell. I think he's probably just hanging out and gonna reach out to the shield guardian, kind of keeping his distance, as you know, all good cleric types are wont to do. Not all good cleric types. Most standard cleric types are wont to do. And he casts Freedom of Movement on the shield guardian. And you see its sluggish movement begin to kind of smooth out and pick back up to a normal tempo. Now, it's basically just its movement speed, so it's not huge, but it kind of counteracts something. So, that's it for Octavio. Ron, what you doing?
I'm going to sluggishly make my way over here next to Dane. Well, I'm going to stay within melee of the thing.
Okay.
I am going to grab Dane, grab the sarcophagus, and dimension door out. Completely outside.
Like, outside of where?
Outside of the temple.
Can you go that far?
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I would say you can grab either Dane or the sarcophagus, not both.
Fuck Dane, I'll grab the sarcophagus. I'm gone.
I wasn't going anyways. Not leaving.
All right.
So I guess I'll go over. I'll like grab Dane's face and just push him slow motion off of the chest or the sarcophagus. Grab it and teleport out.
Okay.
Was the sarcophagus full of treasure?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Didn't get it open yet. You don't know.
Okay.
I just know that this thing attacked Dane for it, so I want it.
It might have just been.
Might
have
just be his body.
Yeah, or just even entering the room.
Whatever. Taking this
Okay.
thing and going.
All right. So, yeah, Ron just grabs the sarcophagus and disappears.
Cool.
I'll back on the back out on the cart if I can make it.
Yeah, that's feasible.
Okay.
So, I'm just gonna put you on the splash screen here.
Okay. Am I out of? I'm obviously out of the slow, right? Or is that affecting
no.
me? Okay. So I do have to do a wisdom save still.
Yeah, you do need to make a wisdom save.
Yeah.
You're still pretty slow there.
That's fine. I'm just gonna be slow.
Okay.
Alright, that's it. That's all I can do.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and move this Ron token off of here because, you know, you don't need him around anyway. You're fine.
Yeah. Can you
Fuck that guy.
Can you put me back to that screen so I can at least see what's going on?
Well, the thing is, it's based on your character's vision.
Oh.
So, I mean, I can just, well, tell you what. We'll put Ron back on here, and I'll move you back, but just remember, Ron's not really there.
Yes.
So...
That'll also keep me the initiative. Well, I do want to do things, too. But
Okay. Cool. So... Esmeralda is going to... I mean, at this point, she's pretty used to just walking around with her blades out, I would think, especially when people are going around breaking down doors. So that's Dun, dun, dun. All right, she just barely is able to run in here and make a series of attacks against this invisible thing.
Which she can see. Kind of.
Kind of. Yeah.
But I mean, it's enough to get rid of disadvantage, right? Like, she knows where it's at.
I don't think it's enough to get rid of disadvantage.
Why?
Because raw. I
Oh.
mean, so without getting too much like into the whole argument about it or whatever, you know, unless a spell specifically says it cancels out the disadvantage factor, like Fairy Fire,
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Okay.
think it's a good idea to really just give that kind of thing out situationally, unless
Okay.
there's like a really compelling reason. I get it, but yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to know your reasoning.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. So she's going to attack, and for some reason her character sheet is super tiny. So I'm going to expand that shit. Okay. She's going to poke at it with her magical rapier, which works surprisingly well. Not like it's doing extra damage, but poking a statue you would think probably isn't the greatest plan. All right. And then she's going to swing with her silvered short sword, and you hear the scraping of that along the thing as well. Cool. So I'm gonna make sure I subtract all that, and we will move on to Greg.
I would like to reckless attack it again.
Do it.
Ew.
Okay, you hit once, and yeah, you kind of feel the blade of the axe just like drag down the shape of this this massive golem, and yeah, I mean it doesn't really seem to flinch or react to the attack. It just seems pretty single-minded at the moment.
Alright. End of my turn, I guess.
Dane.
Do you need a thingy? A roll? A wisdom roll?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I tried.
Oh, and actually, you would have only been able to make one attack, but it would have been the one that hit. So remember that.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna hit it.
Okay.
Oops, I need disadvantage. There you go.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you swing and cut into the thing. You kind of feel that same sensation of the hot knife through butter kind of feeling. And you feel like you've done a fair bit of damage to this thing, though it is still clearly still standing.
Okay.
All right. Dane, you made your save, so you're good. Yoan.
I'm gonna try casting Dispel Magic on it.
Okay. So let's see here. Lower on the target. Okay. Gotta look up the thing. All right. So, I need you to make a wisdom check.
18.
Okay. So you cast Dispel Magic, and almost instantaneously, the large figure here becomes fully visible. And let's see. I think yeah, it becomes fully visible and just stops moving.
Cool. I was wondering if that would happen. I wasn't sure.
That was kind of an on-the-fly ruling, but that was a hell of a roll. So good job. I figure it wasn't a level 9 spell to enchant the golem, so
I was hoping it's not.
Da-na-na-na-na-dun-da-dun.
All right.
Okay.
So as this thing is like still kind of in its combat pose, like getting ready to swing on Dane again, it just stops.
I'm assuming I'm no longer slow. So,
That's a fair assumption.
okay.
I want to chop off its arm that hit me.
I'm going to move my moonbeam up here, but keep it out in case another one appears. For
Okay.
the minute that it's summoned.
Yep. Makes sense.
I am Arcana checking the sarcophagus.
Okay. You do that. While there are some characters on it that you don't necessarily know, you don't think any of them are magical in nature.
Alright, then I'll just touch it and say, hello, can you hear me?
No response.
I'll go into the ring and say, hey Melkar, I found a sarcophagus. What do you think I should do with it?
What kind of sarcophagus?
I don't know. Dane touched it and some giant invisible thing started attacking him. So I grabbed it and ran.
Did you? Would Malkar know of such strange happening?
I mean, let's see. Do you still have access to Melkar's sheet even? Did I give that back to you or no?
I can click on it, but I can't see the stats.
Okay.
Stuck on the bio and info page.
All right. 1 second. So, edit. Boom. Okay, you should be able to like do stuff with it.
Woo.
Make and well, let's see. Let's call it a history check. You were a man of books.
Oh,
Greg. Okay. So, I mean, I think with Melkar's knowledge of magical things, he might be able to piece together the fact that it may not have necessarily been the sarcophagus specifically that triggered the attack, so much as crossing a boundary or touching just generally things that weren't meant to be touched.
Guess I'll say, I don't think it had anything to do with the sarcophagus specifically, but, something in there, whether it be going into the room, whatever this was, or maybe just simply touching something, triggered the trap.
Oh. Well, shit. Alright, well, give me a few minutes and I'll be back with you. And then I'm just gonna keep messing with the sarcophagus, see if I can get it open.
Hey, take your time. I got all the time in the world.
Will do! And I'll go back to messing with it.
Okay. And we'll kind of shift back over to the rest of the group, standing in this room full of treasure and a now still golem. Yeah, so what's everybody doing?
Next pile.
Okay.
Like, anyone know where Ron went?
No,
He'll turn back up.
Okay.
Fuck that guy.
Hopefully it's not a mimic in the sarcophagus.
Can I push this statue golem thing over?
What do you want to do? Push it into the pile of loot?
Push it that way just so it's like falling onto its back?
Yeah, I'd say that's feasible.
I'll have my new suit of armor help with that.
Okay. All right. So moving on to the next pile, Dane, you find a lot of loose silver, like silver pieces. A number of rusted suits of armor. Once again, 5 rusted suits of ring mail and 6 rusted breastplates. A silvered rapier with a pink glass hilt, 4 rusted out, borderline falling apart greatswords. And as you're clearing away the mound coins and armor, you see, kind of pushed up against the wall with all this other loot spilling out of it, is a gilded chariot. Yeah, that's pile number 2.
I want to hand the sword to my new guardian.
The rapier?
The rapier, yeah.
Okay. It looks kind of like a toothpick in its hands.
I don't
Maybe
have a
slightly
use for
bigger
it,
than a
so.
toothpick, but
While he's exploring this, I'm gonna read my book.
okay.
All right, next.
All right, pile number 3. We're moving up in the world. You find a bunch of loose electrum pieces, which are like half gold pieces. Each one of them stamped with the face of Strahd von Zarovich. You find 75 empty bottles. I don't know why I'm specifying that particular one, but I am. Because 75 empty bottles just sitting there.
Ron has the just crazy urge to come in here and loot all bottles.
A latched wooden trunk. Probably like the size of, I'd call it like a suitcase. Like like one of those roller suitcases. Assorted bits and pieces of jewelry. A few gold pieces. And a group of 8 painted ceramic statues of what look like people in some sort of holy vestment.
I'll drag out the trunk and move to the next pile.
Okay. So, uh, you find a number of what look like gold coins at first until you go and scoop some of them up and you realize they're actually wooden coins painted gold. A number of large black pots, each of them filled to the brim and even beyond that with copper coins.
Not rupees.
Nope, copper coins. A dark stone scepter with gold filigree. Something like a dozen rusted helms. And 15 thin, leather-bound tomes. Seemingly identical, and all just sort of thrown into the pot.
Okay. What's in the next one?
Let's see. A bunch of loose silver. 6 crystal orbs, crystal balls even. A bronze crown with tiny gem-eyed dragons for spires. A life-sized wooden pony. And 6 marble vases that probably weigh about 100 pounds apiece.
Is there anything in the vases?
Nope.
No? Okay. Final pile?
A pile of iron bars. Probably about 2,500 pounds of iron. 30 holy symbols of varying origin. A lot of them you recognize from your life, outside of Barovia. Just gods of good, evil, in between. A set of a dozen copper chalices with silver filigree. A gilded skull with red garnets in its eye sockets. And 8 warhammers and 6 war picks.
Okay.
Your thing might want one of those instead.
Yeah. I'll give it a warhammer.
Okay. It kind of just it looks down at the rapier and kind of like holds it out to you, like, here you go.
I'll give that to Esmeralda if she wants it.
Okay. No, I guess she'll accept it. Becca, were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say you might want to give it to Esmeralda.
Ah, well, there you go.
That works.
Anybody else want to grab anything from the 6 massive piles of treasure?
We should probably take all the coins and stuff.
I want to go open that trunk too.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep reading my book.
Okay. So, yeah, Dane, you go over and unlatch the trunk. Doesn't seem to be locked or anything, just closed and fastened. And flipping the lid back, you lay your eyes upon 6 fine dresses.
Okay. I'll give those to Esmeralda also.
And she kind of scoffs at them, like, the hell am I going to do with these?
Is there some kind of container we can put all the silver and electron pieces and stuff in?
There's those vases.
I mean, we should have backpacks.
There's a lot of gold and stuff in here. Gonna awfully weigh down those backpacks.
Mine's durable.
There's 6 heaping mounds of coins.
Do you have a backpack too?
Is my backpack bigger than the rest?
Maybe.
We have animal pelts. We can make backpacks.
Can I make like some kind of bindle out of all that goat kind of out of its hide?
I mean, maybe, but then again, it might not strike such an imposing sight should you run into anybody who revered Sangzor.
Okay.
Can I pull that chariot out too?
Sure. You pull out the gilded chariot from its place resting against the wall.
I'll pull it out and push it out in the main room for now.
Okay.
Are you gonna attach the wooden horse?
I was gonna attach my armor, my new suit of armor.
Anyways, I'm reading.
Okay.
You could put the gold in the chariot.
That works. We can pile that thing up with as much gold as it takes.
Have
I
I
just
gotten
started
the steam
scooping it up.
sarcophagus open yet?
What?
Nope.
Yeah, so I think we see like the group in the treasure room here, just like grabbing armfuls of coins, and as somebody like flips through the pile with the like the collection of books and stuff, like you kind of toss one off to the side, and if this were like a movie or TV show, we'd kind of zoom in and see the title of the book is Snow Dwarf and the Seven Whites.
Oh boy.
I was waiting for Ron to come back to Archon to identify the books to see if they're magical and I can learn more from them.
They seem to be storybooks
Oh, okay.
about a dwarf and some undead. But yeah. And so we skip back over to Ron, who he's gotten the sarcophagus open. It's not like super hard. It wasn't locked, or it might have been a little just kind of set in its closed state, but you're able to pry it open.
What's in it?
And yeah, you look inside, and there is nothing.
It's just empty?
Yeah, it's like a 3.5, 4 foot long sarcophagus. It's empty.
Is there padding or anything in it, or is it just a box?
It's pretty nice. Yeah, there's padding in it.
I'm opening it up. I'm laying down in it.
Are you 4 feet tall?
Oh, it's only 4 feet. Sorry. I missed that one.
Curl up into a ball.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna lay my upper body in it and just have my legs hanging out.
Okay.
I'll just kind of chill there and lay there on top of the thing. This is my new bed.
All right. And so on that site, I think we'll call it for there, or call it for tonight there. Pick it up from there next time.
Okay.